Coming up on This is Arlington.
We'll see what students have prepared for AHS Annual Art Show.
Also, stay tuned for a special senior spotlight. Welcome to This is Arlington, your source for all things Tigers. I'm Brooklyn Knight.
And I'm Sebastian Oliveros. Let's dive in.
Nearly 3 months after Arlington grad Kenneth Walker III won the NFL MVP, another Tiger gets his shot on the biggest stage. Class of 2021 grad Jake Golday was drafted 51st overall by the Minnesota Vikings in the 2026 NFL Draft. The former Tiger had no stars coming out of high school, but went on to play at Central Arkansas before transferring to Cincinnati to finish his college career. Golday will attempt the Vikings minicamp in a few weeks before OTAs begin May 27th.
Just going to show up day one and do whatever's asked of me. But I think what makes me special is my versatility. I've done a little bit of everything at the college level. I started off as a pass rusher, then I moved to Mike linebacker, then I moved to Sam linebacker, which was basically a nickel out there and a coverage a lot of times. So definitely things that I need to work on every single day. But I think this position that I'm going to be put in is going to allow me to do that, obviously, and I'm just super excited for the opportunity.
And last week, the AHS Media Department hosted its annual award show, the Tigers. Students and parents were able to come out and see media students work on display. From intro to media, silent film projects to what you're watching right now. This is Arlington media teachers Sarah Lynn Archibald, Rachel Bateman, and Caleb Hilliard handed out awards to students, representing the culmination of all of their hard work put into these shows over the course of the year.
For me, it's a pretty big honor because I'm very passionate about the media arts program, and the fact that some of my work is getting or has gotten recognized is a pretty big deal for me. I've been doing media at my church for years, but I actually started in a media arts class my freshman year at my old school. But then I took a break for a year. I thought that I wanted to do something else, but then it was actually my brother who did this class here at Arlington when he was in school that encouraged me to try to get back into it, and now I love it.
Thank you. Art is redecorating Arlington's walls for AHS's annual art show being held in the school rotunda. Check out all the hard work the art students have been working on this school year.
Every year, the art program wraps up with a large exhibit that brings student work out of the classroom and into a shared public space. The display includes pieces created across all course levels, giving a snapshot of how students at different stages have developed their skills, ideas, and creative confidence throughout the school year.
This is a show that culminates in all the artwork that we have done for the whole year. And this will showcase artwork from Art 1, Art 2, Art 3, Senior Studio, Graphic Media, and AP Art.
What stands out in this exhibit is the variety of materials and techniques students experimented with over time. Viewers can move from detailed sketches to bold painted pieces, then shift to dimensional works and printed designs. The collection shows how students are encouraged to explore different ways of creating, not just one single style or medium.
In our program, we try to make sure students have access and opportunity to use all the different mediums, from painting to drawing to 3D sculpture to printmaking. So you're going to see art showcased that features all of those different mediums and a range of subjects.
For upper level students, this showcase acts as a final presentation of months of focused creative work. Their pieces come together as a complete set, reflecting both their growth and the direction of their personal artistic style.
This is kind of AP Art's real special time because it's a time where they showcase their entire portfolio and body work that they've done all year.
A major store in the Mid-South is closing its doors. The Ikea Memphis location will shut down in just a few days. Reporter Claire Catton tells us what it means for the community and why it's happening.
For years, Ikea Memphis has been a go-to spot for affordable furniture, room decor, and college essentials. But after nearly a decade in business, the store is preparing to close for good. The company says the closure comes down to several factors, like store performance, high operating costs, and inefficient advertising. More customers are choosing to shop online, and Ikea is shifting its focus to delivery and smaller store formats instead of large locations.
How I found out was just, I was shocked. Was one of my students told me. I walked into class and they go, "Miss Person, did you hear about Ikea closing?" And I was like, what? They are our major industry partner. So I was really surprised, but one of my students told me.
There are also bigger economic reasons behind the decision. According to recent reports, IKEA's parent company has seen a drop in earnings due to rising costs, tariffs on imported furniture, and supply chain challenges. At the same time, the company has been lowering prices to stay competitive, putting even more pressure on profits.
And they have a very unique price point on their products as well, because they don't cater to very high-end customers. They cater more to middle-of-the-road, middle-income type customers. They make things more affordable.
As the closing date gets closer, the store is offering major clearance sales, but shoppers should know all items are final sale with no returns or exchanges. Even though the store is closing, customers can still shop IKEA online, but for many in Memphis, it won't feel the same without a physical location.
In Arlington High School, senior John Brandon is shaping his future through music, creativity, and new opportunities. As a student at Stax Music Academy in Memphis, he's developed his skills as a content creator and storyteller, while learning musically and improving his audio production skills. John shares how his experience at Stax is helping him grow and prepare for what's next.
So can you tell us your name and your age?
Yeah, my name is John Brandon, and I'm 17 years old.
Okay, John Brandon. So we know that you play drums, but how old were you when you decided to pick up drumming?
So I was 3, and my dad, I grew up with a family that's very musically inclined. So my dad just put a kiddie drum kit in front of me, and ever since then I've just been playing drums, making on pots and pans, and then I built a career off of that.
Okay. And you also attend Stax Music Academy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how long have you been at Stax?
So I've been at Stax since my freshman year, and I came here looking to get better and perfect my craft and hopefully pick up something different. And I recently just picked up graphic designing, and I'm looking to build a career with that also. And I've been playing piano also.
Okay, so you do feel like that you've grown since you've been at Stax?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you give me your best 3 memories of Stax?
So I was not really in a specific order, but I played at the summer experience. Mm-hmm. I feel like every year it's a better and better experience playing with musicians that are very, very talented. And another one is Black History Month at the Cannon Center. I feel like that's by far one of the best moments, maybe even number 1 that I've had. And then another one is definitely, I would say, my first ever performance here.
Okay.
'Cause I feel like that was really a time where I felt heard while playing drums and felt appreciated. So, yep.
Okay. Thank you so much, John Brandon. It was nice having this interview with you.
Yes, ma'am.
The Arlington boys volleyball team is nearing the end of its inaugural season. The Tigers sit at a 6-5 record, including wins over Blackmun, Siegel, and Rossville. The Tigers will close out a regular season at home this Saturday against Green Hill as they prepare for the postseason and continue building toward next season. They have big goals for state this year as they head towards Knoxville in 2 weeks.
The biggest goal that the team has this season is to go in and win state. Last year, we didn't do too bad. We were in silver, but this year we're hoping to take home gold and first place altogether. So.
Here at Arlington High School, one senior is proving excellence has no limits. Seth Rice dominates in the classroom, competes in 3 sports, and prepares to take his talents to Johns Hopkins to study engineering and play football.
I'm from California. I spent almost my whole life there. I spent 3 years somewhere else, but I moved here sophomore year because my mom got orders from the Navy, and so we decided to settle down here over a couple other options.
You know, I've had a small part in his journey. Like I said, I've coached him for a season. He's a great kid. You know, he works really, really hard. You know, he dealt with a little injury in the spring when I first got here. He hurt his arm in lacrosse. but he worked through it. He was a great leader throughout the spring in terms of just learning the system, helping coach. But like I said, I played a small part. I'm actually just kind of glad that I was able to coach him because he's just an incredible kid, and an incredible athlete, and just a really good football player.
Being a multi-sport athlete has really helped me to manage my time better because honestly with school and sports, especially playing multiple sports, I don't have all the time like to do homework or just lay down and relax, so I have to get everything done so I can actually get a good night's sleep and be ready for what's next.
When you look at him and like he walks out there on the football field, he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, but he's just incredibly intelligent. He knows the game of football, and it does not matter who he's going up against. He's going to give 110%.
Coach Cornell passes. It's intercepted.
I chose Johns Hopkins because they're really good for the major I want to major in. You know, I want to play sports obviously, but the more important thing was my academics. So I wanted to go for that, and I felt like out of all the colleges that offered me for football, they really made me feel the most welcome on my visit. You know, I got to hang out in the locker room with the players. I got to spend the night in the dorms, you know, just getting to know the team. And so that's what really persuaded me to pick them. My parents are definitely my biggest motivators. You know, they always push me to be the best I can. They always say, if you want to be successful in life, you know, you have to work hard at whatever you do. And school is definitely one of the more important things that I have to work at. So they're definitely my biggest motivators.
I'm more proud of the person that he is, the incredible human being he is, the incredible teammate, incredible person, more than I am just, necessarily his on-the-field accomplishments. He's just a great kid, and I love him to death.
With their high school education finished at the end of the week, teachers at AHS want to share some advice and life lessons with the seniors after their high school career.
My advice to the senior class would be, like, everybody has dreams, everybody has goals and aspirations in life, and I think that's important to you. I think you should pursue that. And so, like, if that's what you want to do, like, chase that dream, do it, no matter what anybody else says. If it's hard, if it's challenging, if it's whatever it is, like, I think you need to chase that and pursue that no matter what. And, no matter what, always be a good person.
Avoid groupthink. Just because your friends think it's a good idea doesn't mean that it is.
Oh, there's so much advice I would give to the senior class, so much. I would say, remember who you are. Remember your value outside of what anybody else says, outside of what's in a grade book, what's in your bank account. Remember your own internal personal value.
Surround yourself with good people and make good choices, and life tends to work out. Also, too, one day when you start dating or considering a spouse, always remember you'll never be treated better than you were when you were dating that person. They're not magically just going to become a different person.
I would say that they need to take in this summer, have the best time they can with their friends, because there's going to be a lot of these people that they're never, ever, ever going to see again. Go off, do big things, work really, really hard, have some fun, and don't go into significant college debt. Those student loans will kill you.
All right, seniors, just keep in mind that times will get hard. Make sure you talk to somebody about what you're going through, and always, always keep fighting and never give up.
Learn from your mistakes, because you gotta at least figure it out at some point.
First off, seniors, we're gonna miss you. It's been fun, but I hope that you all go and do great things. Get out of your comfort zone, try something new, talk to somebody that you wouldn't have talked to. Keep in mind that these next couple of years, you'll have a lot of opportunity to do this, and then as you're old, it just becomes work and home life. So enjoy it. Don't rack up a bunch of unnecessary debt, and go have fun. Do big things.
All right, so since we're on the topic of graduation and leaving, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. It's definitely a bittersweet moment. I'm very emotional because of the past 4 years here. I think I've made really, really good memories. But I'm also really happy to go into the next step, see what the future brings, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go to college and experience the real world, as they say.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you feel?
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way, I'm just excited to end the chapter here and see what life has for me out there.
That's good. I love that. Well, that's all for today, Tigers, on This is Arlington.
Remember to turn on your post notifications so you don't miss new episodes.
And be sure to look out for Tiger Life's upcoming live stream broadcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
And have a good week.